What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of y'all who will, all that information is in the description box below. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks TV. Make sure you subscribe over there. And again, I got to give a special shout out to everybody who's donated. You all have been showing up and showing out, and I appreciate that so much. Now, let's get into the story. Alright y'all, thanks for clicking on the video. Hope everyone is doing well. Now, this video is for educational purposes, and as I approach these stories with respect, I want you all to please be respectful in the comment section. Thanks. Alright, now this story is coming out of Virginia. What's going on with the church folks in Virginia? How many we did the story on Rupert Houghton, that was out of Richmond, Virginia. Then we just recently did the one on Robin Kills, and now we have this one that's coming out of Newport News, Virginia. Shanita Lewis was a successful woman, a mother, wife, and an active member of her church at Gethsemane Baptist Church in Newport News, Virginia. A family friend, Dr. Chris Carter, told the local news that Shanita was a mother of two boys, who was almost never seen without a smile. He also described her as being devoted to her church. Which is why it came as a shock when one Sunday morning when Shanita, who would usually attend both 8 a.m. and 10:15 a.m. services, did not return for the second Sunday morning service at her church. According to Newport News Police, Shanita attended church service Sunday morning on July 17th, and around 9 a.m. she left the church with the intent to return for the second service. However, she was never seen again. Shanita's disappearance prompted investigators to issue a missing persons alert because they believed she was possibly endangered. According to the preliminary investigation, Shanita was last seen exactly at 9:40 a.m. on Sunday, July 17th, leaving her home with her husband, Eure-Lewis. Police said the vehicle they were traveling in was found. Police processed the vehicle, and based on the evidence they recovered in the vehicle, the case turned into a homicide investigation. Now listen to this, you all. On July 19th, Customs and Border Protection initially encountered Shanita's husband, Eure-Lewis, around 10:45 at the departure gate for a flight to Montego Bay, Jamaica. Take a breath. Brother, Deacon Lewis, your wife is missing and you trying to go to Jamaica? Now, Eure-Lewis was detained and returned to the inspection station where he was secured in a detention cell. Officers and agents at the airport searched Eure-Lewis's baggage, and they found his wife's passport and her credit cards. The Newport News police detectives arrived to the airport, and they were informed of what Eure-Lewis had in his luggage. Eure-Lewis declined to speak with detectives until his attorney was present. At approximately 4:10 a.m., Eure-Lewis was served an arrest warrant for first-degree murder by the Newport News police detectives, where he was escorted out of the airport. Shanita's body remains missing, and Eure-Lewis has been charged with first-degree murder in the presumed death of his wife. Dr. Chris Carter, who's a close friend to both Shanita and Adrian, stated, "I'm just blown away. I am, honestly. It almost seemed like it was the perfect marriage, and I'm just blown away." Yeah, we're going to talk about these so-called perfect marriages in the church, because nobody wants to talk about that. Now I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary, and you all know me, I'm Dawson, and I won't hold back.
Also tonight, a court date remotely for the man accused of killing his wife in Newport News.
We've also collected new details in the murder of Shanita Eure-Lewis. Eure-Lewis is charged with first-degree murder in the case. Tonight, new reaction to this case that's rattled the entire community. 10 on your side's Andy Fox is in Newport News with the new information. Andy?
Yeah, Eure-Lewis had the charges read against him today. Also had $800 cash on hand when he was arrested Monday morning by authorities. He was getting on a flight to go to Jamaica one day after his wife disappears. Just another case in point of evidence that led to the first-degree murder charge. It is not the first time Eure-Lewis has been in trouble. He served 3 years for malicious wounding and use of a firearm in commission of a felony, Virginia Beach, 2000. He now remains in custody for the first-degree murder of his wife, Shanita. Her body is still not found.
He seemed to be a pretty nice guy. I mean, you never can tell these days, though.
Can never tell, says neighbor Michael Pendergrass. Lewis helped him after someone slashed Pendergrass's tire.
He came down and said somebody he know in this neighborhood that done it to them. So he said he gonna keep an eye on the neighborhood. I said, well, okay then, that's good.
Pendergrass remembers Shanita, always watching two children playing basketball.
Yeah, they're always playing basketball. You know, they got a basketball rack down there, always playing.
It appears marital problems between the two. Shanita wanted a divorce. Lewis is also charged with use of a firearm in commission of a felony. Police found Lewis's pickup truck here in this Relax Inn parking lot on Mercury Boulevard. Police say Lewis's friend had detailed the truck, but detectives found lots of blood inside.
I cannot give a statement from the family at this time. Okay.
I'm sure they hear that dog yelping. The witness says Adrian told him the blood in the truck was from his dog shot by his neighbor. But when police searched the house Sunday, none of the dogs had been shot. Now, when Adrian Lewis was arrested on Monday morning, he was traveling to Jamaica. 10 on Your Side has learned he has a relative that lives in Jamaica, and he's visited there before. His next court date is set for September 23rd.
All right, y'all, let's go in. But before we go in, let me just say to the family, friends, and associates of Shanita Lewis, I'm praying for you all, and I hope they find her body so you all can have closure. Now, Shanita and her husband have been married for a long time, and for whatever reasons, as you all heard in the news clip, when Shanita told her husband that she wanted a divorce, he had started saying things like he wanted to leave the planet. He didn't want to be here anymore. I can't say that, the S word, but he couldn't live without her. And so what Shanita did was she removed all of the weapons in the house. And I believe that when Shanita went home that Sunday between services and she got in the car with Adrian, he probably told her he was going to go back to the second service with her. And she's thinking they're going to the church. And now no one knows her whereabouts except for Adrian, and he's not talking. You all, we have to talk about domestic violence in the church, not only with leaders, but also people in the pews, the congregants. There are so many people who go to these religious institutions week after week. Some of you are in there Sunday after Sunday wearing a mask. And we've been taught to do that. And I'm not talking about the mask that we wear because of CV-19. I'm talking about the one we wear because we don't want people to know what's really going on in our lives. Yes, many of us have been taught to wear the mask, to fake the funk by people who came before us. Because God forbid, if you save and sanctified and love the Lord and you fire baptized and you got the Spirit, God forbid you go through human experiences that you have problems while you're here on earth. That's why I tell you, so many of you all are so heavenly minded, you're no earthly good. People can't relate to you. Your family can't relate to you. Your children don't want nothing to do with you. Your brothers and sisters don't come around you. Come on, if Jesus could go out amongst the people and deal with their real issues, do you mean to tell me you're so heavenly minded that you can't? The family friend, Dr. Carter, said it seemed like the perfect marriage. He was blown away. Everything seemed perfect. We've been conditioned in church, in many religious institutions, to wear the mask. How you doing, sister? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. How you doing, brother? Oh, saved, sanctified, got Jesus on my mind and running for my life. All of this stuff. Dealing with real issues at home. Wearing the mask when you go to church. And when situations like this happen, and it gets in the media, and it gets around town, people don't want you to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it because it's easy for us to get up here on social media and in the media period and beat up on the celebrities. Let's beat up on Cardi B. Let's beat up on Oprah and Stedman. Let's beat up on Tyler Perry. Let's beat up on this person. Let's beat up on Jay-Z and Beyonce and Kim Kardashian. What did they do to you? But people in your neighborhood that you know, in your town, in your city, who are committing all types of atrocities. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Because that's affecting you more than what Kim Kardashian is doing. That's affecting you more than what Beyonce and her children are doing and Jay-Z are doing. And that's why I created and cultivated my own platform, because I'm going to talk about it when no one else will. For the people in the church who are experiencing domestic violence, go get help. Talk to a police, call a domestic violence hotline. Google that in your area. You can do it. You Google everything else. For those of you all who have experienced domestic violence, share your stories. You're on social media. Share it. Help other people. You'd be surprised who's going through the same thing that you went through and you got out of. Shanita Lewis had every right to want to leave that marriage if she wanted to. And she should have been able to leave without being harmed. And that goes for her, any other woman or man who wants to get out of a relationship. And for some of you in these religious institutions, don't let what people in the church and all these places say make you stay in a relationship that you know you need to leave. Well, Dawson, I don't want them talking about me. I don't care what they say. My bills don't come in what they say. They say can come pay some of these bills, they say. Until they do that, they can kiss my natural black blessed assurance. Now look here, y'all, I'm about to go off. Let me get off here. Now, I received a letter from a former first lady, and I'm going to read it to you all. She says, "Hey, Dawson, I recently subscribed to your YouTube channel, and I've watched several other church-related profiles. I relate very deeply to many of the experiences and stories you have provided commentary on. Thank you for your voice. It is much needed. One of the hardest and most hurtful lessons I learned was I didn't matter to leadership. I really thought I did. I chuckle as I wrote that because I was so naive to believe that the men, the deacons, would help me turn around my husband's growing disinterest and hatred towards me and wanting to stay married to me. My experiences are old, but I can get triggered sometimes listening to other similar situations. I walked away and divorced him 24 years ago. I am alive today because I made that move. Church folks don't want to hear, nor will they accept that their pastor's heart can go to very dark places and set in motion sometimes irreversible consequences. I am alive today because I left. Sincerely, former First Lady." There you go. And that's just one of many letters I get from First Ladies, current ones and past, y'all. And not only them, other men and women in the church who've experienced physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse. Come on, y'all. It's all in there. And no one wants to talk about it. Until today, because we're going to talk about it over here at Dawson Speaks TV. We have to talk about it because some of these people in religious institutions aren't going to talk about it. Some will, some won't. And many won't talk about it because they're the ones doing the abusing. Now I'm off of this. You all, I am praying for the family of Shanita Lewis. I hope they find her body, and I hope they throw the book at Eure-Lewis. All right? Now I'm off of this topic. Go off in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Until next time, take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself and each other. Peace.